What's up everyone, welcome to Crypto Maximalist. Today we're taking a look at Cardano and its recent price action, and make sure to watch the video till the end for a price prediction for the short and the long term as well. First things first, please smash the likes, subscribe and hit the bell icon. YouTube is not pushing crypto content out currently and our subscribers aren't getting notifications, so make sure to join our free Telegram to stay up to date with all our videos as they are posted, link in the description. It really helps if you hit the like. We're posting 4 videos per day, so come back every day for daily updates and analysis. And make sure to comment down below for your chance to win a hardware wallet in our new monthly giveaway. We'd also like to thank you all so much for your support. We've just hit 10k subscribers, so make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. This is not financial advice. Welcome to Crypto Maximalist. Let's begin. What's up guys, so just before we begin, we've had many reports that our subscribers aren't seeing our content, and this is most likely because you haven't hit the real subscribe button, which is the bell icon, with all notifications turned on. So give it a tap now, turn on all notifications, and you'll most likely see most of our videos being posted. Also, if you want to support the channel, make sure to tap that like button. It really helps us out and pushes the video out to more people. We're posting 4 videos per day, so make sure to check back every single day for daily updates. So with that all being said, let's take a look at Cardano here. As you can see, it does look as though we may be about to fall out of this ascending triangle that we have been in here, although it may still be valid if you start to move it around, but I think most cryptocurrencies have fell out of their ascending triangle, with Bitcoin having a big correction yesterday. And as we can see, the 30% chance that we did actually highlight in most of our videos yesterday has played out for most cryptos, where we could break to the downside. Obviously with Bitcoin essentially having a big correction, that means that it's leading the market right now with all the fear and uncertainty, and obviously when that happens, we do see pretty much all cryptocurrencies falling to the downside. We do actually think Cardano has actually done surprisingly well, considering, you know, a lot of cryptocurrencies have absolutely fell off the wagon in the past day or so. But it does look like Cardano is actually holding really well. I mean, we're still holding at around $1.35 here, which is really good to see. And as we said, we do think there's probably quite a lot of demand for Cardano right now, considering obviously their smart contract mainnet is coming out very soon. We do think there's probably just quite a lot of demand for Cardano right now. I mean, you could technically say that this potentially is the triangle as well, but I think most people are saying that this is the triangle, ascending triangle or something like this, and we have fallen out of it now. Like we have with most cryptocurrencies, which we'd probably say is valid. But as you can see, I mean, we're getting ridiculously oversold on our 1 hourly chart here. And obviously the last time that this happened, as you can quite clearly tell, we came all the way down to here to around $1. So I mean, when you're this oversold, the chance of the reversal is pretty likely. And obviously the last time that we were overbought, we were looking at some territory like this at around $1.50 here. So I mean, when you get this oversold, the reversal becomes more and more likely, because obviously you have to come back into equilibrium on your RSI here. You're not going to stay in oversold territory forever and just keep rolling and rolling. So it seems unlikely to us that Cardano is going to fall that much, considering how much strength it's actually showing right now. It's pretty amazing to see, really, considering, as we said, a lot of cryptocurrencies like VeChain, for example, have fell well out of their ascending triangle. This is usually a bullish indicator. And I suppose you could argue that also this is potentially a rising wedge. And when you have a rising wedge, this is usually a bearish indicator, where you basically have a rising wedge like this, and then you fall out of it, and your target would be where you formed the wedge. So somewhere down here at around $1.10 would be our technical target for Cardano now that it's broken out of this rising wedge. But the reason that we said it was an ascending triangle was because on Bitcoin, it's actually looking more like an ascending triangle than it was a rising wedge. So we were basically equating the fact that Bitcoin is leading the market right now. So pretty much whatever happens to Bitcoin, that's what most cryptos are going to do. But we have actually seen this rising wedge pattern for a few cryptos over the past week or so, haven't we? Basically, we've been seeing it for Ethereum as well, and that has actually broken down out of this rising wedge as well. And as we said, for Ethereum, the breakdown target when you fall out of a rising wedge like this is basically around where you form it. So we would be looking at potentially $1.10 for the target for Cardano in the short term if we do execute this rising wedge fully. But we're not necessarily sure that this will happen. There's a lot of market volatility at the minute, and as we said, considering that we're this oversold on our RSI, and the last time we were this oversold, we were at $1, it seems unlikely to us that we're going to roll all the way down to $1.10 in the next few days. Obviously, it's possible, and we're not saying it's not possible, but what we're saying is it's unlikely, considering how oversold we are already. We'd have to be quite literally ridiculously oversold in order to reach those kinds of prices, at least with this current little run that we're on. So in our opinion, Cardano, I mean, it's holding pretty well, isn't it? Taking a look at our hourly chart here, you can obviously see we did start to roll over here. People getting scared and obviously executing this trade for the ascending wedge. Now that it's broken to the downside, most people are going to be thinking this is very bearish, which is probably fair enough because this is a technically very bearish pattern on the charts. But in general, the volume has just been dropping off a lot recently, and there's a lot of stable coins on the sidelines. So we are thinking there's just a lot of people sitting on the sidelines waiting to see what happens, really. And as you can see, in essence, all we've been doing really is just chopping it sideways. We obviously broke out of this resistance that we had been under here for a long time, which we thought was very bullish. We did get very, very overextended in terms of the channel that we've been trading in, from what we could tell. If we just zoom out to our daily chart here, you can see this is the channel that we've been trading inside of. And we pretty much got really overextended for Cardano, didn't we? We were at around 15 cents, chilling at the bottom of the channel. And then since then, we've just been right up against the top of the channel here. And now we're having a little cooling off period, which in our opinion is pretty good, getting back to the middle of the channel. Basically cooling off as well on our RSI, because as you can see, we've got extremely overbought in these areas here. And obviously when you get this overbought, it's likely that you're probably going to get a nice little reversal. You can see that there are some nice, there was a very, very solid bearish divergence here. If you look at the price action coming up, the RSI coming down, this is a bearish divergence. And obviously we got the reward, you could say, for that pattern playing out. And we got that bearish divergence with the big correction. So these things weren't, unforeseeable. If you look at the charts, you can kind of work out quite a lot of potentially what's going to happen, especially in macro timeframes. And this bearish divergence here was pretty telegraphed when we started to run up to these sorts of levels at $2.50. We were starting to look very overextended, especially coming outside of this channel that we've been in. So it seemed pretty likely that we were going to get the rejection and a bit of a cooling off phase, and we are. I mean, we quite literally have. We're at $1.35 right now. We're basically just chilling back at the middle of this, channel that we've been trading upwards inside of, haven't we? You can quite clearly see it here. I mean, it's pretty obvious when you lay it out like this that we just got really overextended. Ever since the March 2020 crash, we've been trading upwards pretty much inside of this channel, as you can see. We got really overextended. We came outside of the channel here. We've got this bearish divergence on the macro time frame, and then we got the little rejection to the downside. So obviously, everyone's saying that it was the FUD that crashed the market, but in reality, it does look as though, show me the chart and I'll tell you the news. Basically, this rejection was probably needed considering how overbought we were. So now we've come back down on our daily time frame here, and we're getting quite oversold, aren't we? I mean, you can see, if we're just zooming on our RSI a bit here, you can see quite clearly that we're getting pretty oversold. And as you can see, the last time we were this oversold was in this area here, where we're basically near the bottom of our channel, aren't we? And then we're basically consolidating and retesting the bottom of the channel. And then we were off to the races. We absolutely exploded out the gates, came all the way to the top of the channel here. And now we're having a nice little cooling off period again. So as far as I'm concerned, we could chop it sideways for weeks now, start to cool off, maybe get a bit more oversold, and then if we tap into this really oversold area again, getting near the bottom of this channel, we could be anticipating a very big, nice push up for Cardano in the next, 6 to 8 months, maybe in the next year or so, depending on how long the bull cycle lasts now. Because we have had a big consolidation period here halfway through, which not a lot of people were expecting, but it has occurred. So this could lengthen the cycles potentially. So obviously if we chop it sideways now for a few more weeks, maybe even a month or so, and then we explode out the gates, going into, the end of the year, maybe the start of next year, we could be looking at some of these price targets for Cardano inside of this channel, maybe up to around this $10 level, which is a price target for ourselves that we do think is possible for Cardano. Especially when you look at these waves, you can see you got your A wave here, your B wave, which is your cooling off, but this big secondary wave here, and now we're having a cooling off wave. And if we have a similar impulse like we had before, we could be looking, potentially some very nice price targets for Cardano in the long term. So obviously no one likes to see this current price action, and you do have to be patient in these markets. Historically, people that are the most patient get the biggest rewards in this market, and obviously you can see that quite clearly if you just take a look at our weekly chart here. Basically, if you'd bought Cardano at the pit of the previous bear market, I mean, look at this, it came all the way down to around 1 or 2 cents. If you just bought Cardano here and held it for a year and a half, you'd be up massively. I mean, what is this, almost 100x? If it's at, what was this, $1, 1.5 cents, so you'd be up about 100x currently, which is absolutely insane. 100x gain in like a year and a half is absolutely ridiculous. So you can quite clearly see that in the long term, most likely you're probably going to do very well buying top quality projects. So obviously, as we said, no one likes to see the current price action, but I mean, no signs of a bear market whatsoever. Look at this. I mean, we're still holding the 20 moving average here as support for Cardano, which is absolutely incredible. Clearly shows we're still in an uptrend on our weekly time frame, which has a lot of confluence to, you know, bull and bear markets. As you can see here previously, we basically had our these lines aren't they aren't loading for whatever reason for our previous bear market, but you can see quite clearly here that this is probably what was happening, stuck under our 20 EMA. Obviously, you got the bearish flip of the EMA somewhere back here. We're absolutely crushed in this bear market, but then when you start to get back up above your 20 EMA, you're retesting the 50 here. Okay, we got rejected. We're back up under the 20. Then you come up, you retest it again. Obviously, we got the anomalous black swan event of the March 2020 crash. But when you get back above your EMAs like this, you flip bullish on the weekly time frame on your EMAs. You can see it quite clearly here. You basically flip bullish. You come up, and then you're retesting your EMAs for support here. We retested the 55 once. We came up, we retested the 20 here, holding the 20, holding the 20, and then as you can see, boom, absolutely massive impulse to the upside over the next, 6 months or so. We've come all the way up, and now we're looking for support now that we've got overextended, and we're finding support on the 20 EMA. So still in an uptrend, everything's still looking good. As far as we're concerned, we could come back down and retest the 55 here at around 80 or 90 cents and still be very bullish. So I mean, I think Cardano is holding up really well considering what we've seen recently. A lot of cryptos have been absolutely destroyed, but obviously, as you can see with Cardano, things have been holding pretty well. So a quick look at the daily time frame. As we said, we're very, very oversold right now recently, and it does look as though we're forming divergences all over the shop. So obviously, how long can this last? Obviously, the market can't stay this oversold forever, and it will come back to equilibrium. The bears are getting quite greedy in our opinion, and even though we are seeing a bit more downwards price action here, and a lot of people are panicking and blaming each other, especially YouTubers. We're seeing a lot of hate for YouTubers right now because of the market volatility, but we'd just like to reiterate that we're not future tellers, and we're not, we can't see into the future to see what's happening. We're just looking at the charts and showing you what the potentials are. But obviously, the longer the time frame, the more chance of you doing very well in this market from what we can tell, not financial advice, of course. If you're buying cryptos and holding them from the long term, especially good ones, top 10 projects, for example, you're probably going to do very well in the long term. So the short term is very hard to predict currently because of the market volatility. As you can see, we've had a lot of sideways chop recently. There's been basically, we're just ranging, aren't we? We're just ranging between $1 here and basically $1 and $2. We've just been ranging, vibing and consolidating, as a crypto Wendy would say. So basically, we're just ranging in this area. We have been for some time, and until we start to see, Cardano picking up and hitting these levels up here, we're probably not going to be seeing any upwards price movement for a while. Obviously, this is all dependent on Bitcoin. So short term, obviously, we have broken down out of this ascending wedge. So do predict we could potentially roll over a bit more in the next few days. And obviously, we are getting very oversold on our hourly time frame. So the more oversold we do become here, the more chance of that reversal. So if we do start to see things rolling over, do anticipate that we're probably going to get a nice bounce if we do stay really oversold on our hourly time frame. And then a quick look at the weekly time frame. No sign of a bear market, and in the long term, as you can see, I mean, Cardano's done extremely well in the long term. So that's our update today, guys. We'd like to thank everyone for watching. If you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, please let us know down in the comments section below. Please make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you can keep up to date with all of our videos. Remember to comment down below and be subscribed to enter into our brand new monthly giveaway for a hardware wallet. If you'd like to support the channel more directly, please sign up to our Patreon via the link in the description below, or sign up to YouTube membership by hitting the join button right next to the sub below this video, where you can get access to our private Discord. We're offering coin calls, one-to-one access to us personally, insight into our personal portfolio, daily research of crypto assets with massive potential, and access to our brand new 100x portfolio. With so many benefits, you might as well check it out below. Don't forget to get 2 free stocks with Webull by signing up and then depositing $100 using our link in the description below. You can quite literally deposit the $100, get your 2 free stocks, and then withdraw the money. So there's no reason not to do that, and they could be valued all the way up to $1,600 each. But don't forget to actually deposit as well after signing up, otherwise you won't receive the second stock. Scammers get worse every day, so make sure to protect yourself and your crypto online with PureVPN. Sign up below for some big discounts. You can get access to block content and protect yourself from phishing scams with super low monthly payments and high quality speeds. You can also sign up to our free Telegram via the description as well. All the links are in the description for affiliate links for discounts and free crypto, so go check them all out below. There's plenty of goodness on offer. Please like and subscribe. We are Crypto Maximalists.